In this video, I'll be doing some simple Punnett square practice problems. This is going to be part one. These are going to be basic problems. I could just give you the cross. In the other one, I'm going to be doing some like word problems and pulling things out of word problems. So here I have a cross of a heterozygous individual and a homozygous recessive individual. So let me draw my Punnett square. I usually try to start at the top, but it doesn't matter. I'll put my heterozygous individual on top, my homozygous recessive individual on the bottom, and again, I fill in down and across for every item. So, you know what? Let me do some of these in colors, which will be easier to follow. So let me do this. So let me do my blue ones first down. The capital R goes down that side, and the lowercase r goes down this way. And then following my oranges across. And so let me see. What about if I were to ask, what is the genotypes of possible offspring? I could say 50% of my offspring will be heterozygous for this gene, and 50% of my offspring will be homozygous recessive for this gene, or 1 out of 2 for each of those. If I was talking phenotypes, I would also say 50% of my offspring have the dominant trait, whatever that is. And I know that because, again, 50%, 2 out of my 4 offspring have a dominant allele, therefore they will be dominant, and 50% of my offspring will have the recessive trait, phenotype. And I know that again because 50% have only the recessive alleles. In this problem, we have 2 heterozygotes. If I draw my Punnett square and fill in, and then fill in, I'll do the vertical first. I'm going to move this one over because I already see this one's going to have a capital letter. So I'm going to move that over. And then I'll do my orange ones. So again, notice I kept them in the exact same rows or columns that they were in originally. Now let me do genotypes and phenotypes here. Looking at genotypes, I have a lot of variability here. I have 25%, or 1 out of 4 of my offspring are homozygous dominant, right? That's this individual. 50%, or 1 out of 2 of my offspring are heterozygous, that is these individuals. And then another 25%, or 1/4, of my offspring will be homozygous recessive. So I have a lot of traits here. But again, if I'm looking at this, I know that I'm doing it right because all of my percentages add up to 100. So I know I got everybody. In terms of phenotype, phenotype is tricky. I actually have 75% of my offspring will have the dominant phenotype. This is also 3 out of 4. Because if I count here, 3 of my 4 offspring have at least 1 dominant allele. And then the other 25%, or 1/4, of my offspring will be recessive. Last but not least here, I have a homozygous dominant individual crossed with a heterozygote. I'm going to just do this one all in black. And when you get used to it, you can just, as you can see, I'm not filling it in by rows or columns. I'm just, okay, looking at a box and go, okay, this one, or this one, and just filling it in as I go. And here, in terms of genotype, I have 50%, or 1/2, are homozygous dominant, 50%, or 1/2, are heterozygous. And with phenotype, 100% will have the dominant phenotype here. And notice it is not possible for any offspring of this cross to have a recessive phenotype.